Hello and welcome to Move the Line, presented by SharpStack. I'm Ryan Noonan, joined here as always by Connor Allen. I'm going to unpack a little bit of Week 7, what we saw, what matters, what doesn't matter. Take an early look at Week 8, maybe touch on some Monday Night Football stuff. We got 2 games here tonight. See if SharpStack's got anything for us. Maybe some futures. Connor, what's going on, bud?
Yeah, not much. I had a great week of props that felt good. I'm 4-0 so far, which is like pretty low volume, but I got 2 plays pending for tonight. It sucks because I had 2 more plays written down that I was like probably going to release. It was kind of on the fence about. Both won. It was Michael Carter under. It was, I don't know, one other one. So I was like, man, I'm like just having an awesome week. And so, yeah, hopefully that keeps rolling tonight. 6-0 sounds a lot better than 4-2, but at least we're guaranteed a positive week so far.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I had the same. Part of it was like I thought I had released something that I didn't release.
Yep.
I had a third one. I even mentioned on the show I have 3 ready to release.
You did.
And then what happened was I got distracted with something that I played immediately after the show that's for tonight, and that messed up my release. And then Buddy Ed Fang had reached out to me, and I had something else that I had already written up early in the week that moved. Cortland Sutton over 54.5 receiving yards. So I told Ed, I'm like, you know what? It was like 57.5, 58.5. I still kind of liked it. And I have it for Ed, gave it to him for his newsletter for Saturday morning. Well, between me texting it to Ed Friday nights and Saturday morning before he goes to release it, it had moved another like 5 yards. It was 63.5 widely available, 64 in some spots. And I'm like, Ed, if I got it at 54.5, I was comfortable playing 56.5. I'm like, you know what? I like the play. If he goes over, he's probably not like tiptoeing over. And he did. He cleared over comfortably. I had the Bonix was the other one that I was referencing that I shared with you. I'm like,
yep.
Here's what I had written up for the show on Friday. Didn't get released. I had Tyler Warren over 58.5 written up. Did not release. Played it. So I'm sorry, subscribers. I had a decent week. Could have been better. So it's the silent killers. The ones you don't get to share with everybody. So feels bad.
Yeah, we drop a little bit in the chat here and there, like some occasional stuff like, hey, we're playing this, we're playing this.
Hey, Jalen Lane uncorrelated.
Yeah. That hit. What was 8-1, 10-1? That's awesome.
No, 18. 1880. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, we're on a heater. Is this two out of the last 3 weeks we hit it uncorrelated?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't feel that bad. The tackle prop for Sunday night came in for people that asked. So I paid Jesse Bates. I know that came in. So yeah, we're okay. I just feel bad when also, like when we spend the time doing the research to do the write-up, when you have that work done and no one reads it, no one sees it, that feels, and then it wins, that feels bad. So
yeah,
that's all. Hey, overall good week 7, not done. Got some stuff going tonight, and we'll see what SharpStack has. Maybe touch on some of that as well. So really want to encourage people, again, if you have not already taken advantage of SharpStack's free 7-day trial, I don't know. I'll be honest, jump in the chat. Let me know why you haven't. I would love to hear from you. Add us on Twitter at Ryan Noonan, at Connor Allen NFL. Like, what prohibits you from taking advantage of something for free for 7 days? Is this just not something that you would ever use? Again, not like the cheapest of tools, though. Again, we have like a ton of promos out there if you get it for like really, 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 really cheap. I'm just, curious. I would love to hear from you. If not, go to 4for4.com/plans and sign up. That's it. 7-day free trial. It's a suite of betting tools, including our EV tool, the top down one that we're going to show here later that we've talked about a lot. But again, ARBs, middles, odd screens, games and props, lots of stuff. And again, like not just for football, it's feeding all sports. So there's market-based projections in there as well. So if you're really grinding college football, like it's going to give you bets. Like I went 3-1 on college football this week. Just again, didn't watch any of the games that I bet on, and really didn't know any of the guys that I bet on. And that's okay. It's a bankroll builder. So check it out for 7 days. Let us know if you have any questions. Promo code MTL50, 50% off. Excuse me, your first month. It's a good deal. We're gonna have more deals coming. That's a pretty damn good deal. 50% off for a month. So come back on Friday, obviously, for prop drop. Myself, Connor, High Slop, props. Same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. right here. Move the line wherever you listen to podcasts. 4 for 4 live here on the YouTube channel. All right. Anything big picture you want to touch on before we jump through the games here?
I don't think anything too much. I mean, like, I don't know if we want to talk about the Unk Bowl at all from Thursday with the Steelers Bengals popping off. That was crazy.
Sure. Yeah, offended by that. Someone older than both quarterbacks. Like, we're seeing like AI images of these guys as like literally 70 years old. It's like they both just cleared 40. Okay. What are we doing here? So I personally attacked, but what are your thoughts as a youngin?
It was just one of those things where, like, in hindsight, it kind of made sense. And I wanted to play some unders from this game, but I couldn't really figure out a way because, like, the Steelers defense, like, yeah, they played well in certain situations, but I just like, there's something off about them specifically. And then the Bengals defense has been so bad. Like, I figured that the Steelers would be able to move the ball kind of no matter what. So if, like, and we've seen Flacco occasionally, like, just have some pushback, like, you know, occasionally figure it out. And like, he figured it out by just throwing the ball to Jamar Chase basically every play, which is, it's pretty crazy to see, honestly. It was awesome. And then you just like throw a random bomb to T. Higgins. Like, if they, you know, started bracketing him or like, you know, just bumping him and they put another guy on him, like, you just throw a bomb to T. Higgins and figure it out. So cool to see. I mean, I don't know if the Bengals can stay competitive like this all the time, but I don't know. I don't see necessarily why not if like Flacco can play like fine. He doesn't need to play this well, just like fine.
Yeah, he told us he was going to do this. So in hindsight, it felt really bad, like looking at the chase lines and not actually taking a step forward and doing anything with them personally.
Right.
Because it made sense they were light. And he's like, yeah, in terms of, he mentioned the week before, like figuring out the offense and learning the playbook. And he's like, I think I'm going to just throw it to Jamar Chase a lot. And T. Higgins is pretty good too. So like, he kind of told on himself. And like, shame on the Steelers. Like, that also, I think, is going to be matchup specific. Like, to not adjust whatsoever. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm sure that they did try to do some stuff differently, but like, the guy was still wide open too frequently, right? So figure it out, because at no point is like Flacco moving off of his first target. It just felt like he's feeding whoever he wants here, right? If he decided pre-snap that the matchup looked good for Higgins, yeah, he's going to take that shot. Otherwise, you know, he had Chase working guys all over the field, in the slot, out wide. It didn't matter. So yeah, bad loss for the Steelers, who could have again taken advantage of, you know, the Ravens on a bye week, separated themselves more. Instead, they brought themselves back to the pack as we kind of turned the page on the Ravens kind of getting back to being healthy. So it was a missed opportunity, and not something that I think either of us were buying into. Don't think that we really believe that the Steelers are legit. Like, the defense is just a problem. Like, they're not getting home enough. Flacco does a really good job of getting the ball out quickly at this point. Like, he doesn't want to get hit, but he just like, he's 1, 2, 3, it's out. Like, so even though there were some offensive line challenges in front of him with his offensive line, like, he does not hold on to the football. And that worked. That mitigated the one defensive advantage that the Steelers would have had, is the ability to get pressure. So yeah, the back end's not good enough. And yeah, I'm just not a believer. So we go more on the Steelers when we get to them. Where are they at this week? Green Bay, Sunday Night Football. That's right. It should be a very interesting.
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh. Yeah. So yeah.
Packers only 3-point favorites.
I know the Packers. I mean, that was a tough spot. I mean, I just saw the news too. You saw it on Saturday, like they're still on the tarmac and they're like, they hadn't left the airport, and it was like past the time that they would have arrived in Arizona. You just know that situation's never good. And you felt like you had Jacobs as a real game time decision. Like, while people, I think, want to like dock them a little bit for not running away against Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals, like, I want to give them credit for going on the road and under less than ideal situation and at least getting the dub. Like, that's all that matters at the end of the day. They needed that dub in that division, especially since it's all jam packed. So yeah, I would lean Packers for sure, to be honest. You know, it seems like we're moving to 3.5. We've already moved there in some places.
Yeah. Well, 3.5 DK. Penny still has like a juice 3, bookmaker juice 3. Caesars, yeah, again, like either juice 3 or 3.5. I don't know. I mean, this Packers team is tough. Like they kind of like, with the whole Cardinals game, like it just took them a little while to get going. They pulled it out, but it wasn't pretty. Like this isn't quite the dominant team that we thought, earlier from the season.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I think that's also just always the Jordan Love experience. And there's just, when the deep shots are clicking and, Jacobs is popping and feeling good, like he's dealing with both a true sickness, illness, and an ankle injury. And was still very much involved, not to his normal degree, but I don't know. They got the win. So yeah, they didn't win by margin. They didn't cover, but I like them in that spot. So all right, buzz through starting London. 35-7. The Rams beat the Jaguars. We were there. We've been on the anti-Jags thing here for a bit, just not a believer, especially it being propped up defensively with just like insane turnover variance, 99-yard pick sixes and things that are swinging games. Just did not seem sustainable. And Trevor Lawrence just isn't that guy, unfortunately. Kudos to the Rams. Like I think it's really impressive for Sean McVay. When I see the stat, they ran 13 personnel. So 1 back, 3 tight ends on 24 of their 59 plays. They had done that 6 times in the last 4 years. That's awesome. That's insane. I love that because I love the coach's mindset to being like, hey, no, this is what we need to do to win this game with the guys that we have currently, instead of like, no, you know what? We run 11 and this is what it's going to look like because this is the guys we have now. It's like, no, we need to kind of look at the opponent and look at this dynamic currently, and they whoop their ass.
Yeah, that's what happens. And you'll have Colby Parkinson, Terrence Ferguson, and Tyler Higbee all, contributing here. Whereas like Jordan Whittington, Tutu Atwell, just, nothing, like air balls. So it makes a lot of sense. And this game, particularly, you mentioned it, like the Jags defense coming into the game, they were second in EPA, but 22nd if you remove turnovers. So not a good defense, just got a lot of turnovers. It's what we'll talk about in a second. It's kind of what I tell people about the Bears. Like the Bears are not a good defense, but they just like are coming up with these clutch turnovers and surviving on these like, do or die plays. They're sending Jaquan Brisker like just like all the time. You see this like in the game, like he's just basically like he's playing edge half the game now. It's like I don't know if you saw that. They were just like lining up like 7-8 guys there and then just like sending back 2 and then like dropping running backs, which I think is awesome. I think that's like a cool, but it like leads to way more volatility of their plays. Like they'll let up an easy 40-yard touchdown or out of nowhere the safety will come and have a pick or like almost pick because they should have another pick too where they just like ran into each other. So anyways, it's like it is interesting that like I don't think that that's like stable is my point. So like the Jags, and that chickens came home to roost in this one.
The one thing they seem to have some stability in is they're continuously one of the most penalized teams every week, and that's just like it's really hard to sustain these types of situations, especially with the turnover variance when you're getting 8 to 12 turnovers or 8 to 12 penalties for 60 to 100. They had 13 penalties for 120 yards in this game. Like you can't do that. Like that's just not how you're going to set yourself up to win. So those both games I think are correlated a little bit, and I had very much easy hindsight sitting on the couch as those games start, and it's like, oh yeah, there's the Liam Cohen, Sean McVay dynamic, right? Like coached on his staff a couple different times, right? Like he was there, went to Kentucky, came back, was on his staff, then went to Tampa. Like, so he's very much part of the McVay tree. And then the Chicago game is the Dennis Allen thing. Like Dennis Allen, who knows the weaknesses for Spencer Rattler more than his last year's head coach? Like it's Dennis Allen, who was playing a very different style. Then that's kind of the thing. They were opportunistic, aggressive, man, blitzing, and that's kind of what they did in that game. So those things make sense in hindsight. You're like, why did I miss that in the handicap? That makes a ton of sense.
Totally.
Lazy bum. So bye week for the Rams and the Jags. So we will not see them here. I will transition that game. 26-14 for Chicago. As you mentioned, they're getting a little bit more healthy. TJ Edwards is back. Jaquan Brisker is back. Jaquan Brisker was out for most of the year last year. That was a big problem. He just could not get back from a concussion that really ended like those last 3 months. And then obviously Kyler Gordon, who I think is an impactful addition back into that lineup. And Spencer Rattler, I think, has been better than I think we thought coming into this year, but sometimes you're just going to have these games where it looks completely overmatched and not really an NFL quarterback. And this is one of those games.
I kind of think that his time might be just like over. Like what I mean, they're 1-6. Like, where's Tyler Shough? Like, I mean, it's not like Rattler hasn't been like atrocious, like to the point like
he hasn't been atrocious. He really hasn't.
No, but like generally you just see teams like kind of make these switches because they're like, all right, well, maybe Tyler, it's the mystery box of Tyler Shough could be way better than we think. We just have no idea. Like it happens occasionally. I don't see much downside. I mean, you're losing every game basically anyways. So I don't know. I think that they should be making a switch here pretty soon. But maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Maybe he's really bad. We have no idea either. We're outsiders, and we didn't see any of the, warm like training camp stuff or how he reacts inside the building. Like we don't know any of that. So,
yeah. I mean,
data. We have no idea.
You have no idea. You're right, though. I mean, it does feel like a spot where you want to take a shot and at least see what you got. Maybe it's that bad, right? If he's just so much worse in practice, then you're like, well,
yeah.
You kind of keep telling yourself that Rattler hasn't been that bad, So they lost Kendra Miller for the year, an ACL. I think that sucks because I think he's been pretty good for them, and we're starting to kind of take on some more work. Interested to see how that kind of plays itself out. But again, this team is down bad. They host Tampa Bay, so again, Tampa Bay playing tonight here on Monday Night Football. 6.5 points, 6 in some spots. 47.5 is the total there. So tough back-to-back road games for the Bucs, second there in the division. Again, going from Tampa to New Orleans is not massive travel, but it's
right.
definitely something. But again, the short week too is impactful. You'd like to have that extra day in your bed, but you don't get it. So sucks for you. But again, you got to fly first class in a private plane and sleep in a nice hotel. So see if you can figure that out. Bucs. Sucks to be you. But yeah, I don't have necessarily a lean on that game. Part of it is also we don't really know, not even what happens tonight in the game, but mostly like just the health of the Bucs, right? Like Mike Evans, Abuka, I don't know about Bucky Irvin. Like there's just some questions in the Bucs in terms of handicapping ahead of time.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, the Bucs are wild. So it's another tough spot for the Saints. It's like I don't know when it's gonna necessarily open up for them, but they're a bad team. And what was interesting though, so we're watching the Bears Saints game, and like the Bears running game the last 2 weeks has been awesome. And but against teams that like are not bad efficiency wise against the run. So like the Commanders were like a fringe top 10-ish unit, like on a success rate basis, and the Bears just walloped, they crushed them. And then the Saints Saints let up a lot of yards because they're always losing, but like on a per down basis, they're 13th in success rate, like entering the week. That's not bad. Like, they're decent. And the DeAndre Swift runs for 125 yards. Kyle Monangai ran for another 80. Like, and I think it's with the changes that the Bears made to their offensive line. I think, like made some decisions during the bye maybe, and like, kind of upgraded things there. It's finally clicking. I don't know what it is, but the running game, we talked about it like after week 2. We're like, if the Bears can't play defense and they can't run the ball, you're basically telling Caleb Williams to go win games, which he's not good enough to do yet. Which is still, I think, all true. But if you can run the ball and the defense is getting healthier and playing a little bit better, you don't need Caleb to win games all the time. Just like not mess up that bad, and just like, and maybe make a couple of good plays here and there, which is much more doable, I think, given its current status and where he's at. So I don't know. I mean, the Bears are not a good 4-2 team, but they can, if they continue to get healthier and they can keep running the ball, like they can definitely compete with like some of the best teams, I think, in the NFC.
Caleb's not turning it over, so we'll at least got to give him credit for that, right? Like he still likes to take some shots. They're aggressive down the field, but he's not putting it into like high leverage positions where it's 50-50 balls or turnover worthy plays, things like that. They're down compared to last year. So yeah, I mean, Bears tough spot, I guess, this week. To be interesting to see. They get the Ravens first time off the bye, and getting, I believe we'll see that we end up getting Lamar Jackson back. They are basically a touchdown dog. 6.5. There's 6.5. There's some well-priced sevens out there. Total between 50.5 and 51.5, which is pretty hefty. Any early leans, or do you want to kind of hear? I would want to hear more for sure about what's going on with the Ravens and who's coming back for sure, and how's everyone feeling.
So it's interesting because Lamar Jackson did not practice today. It's Monday, first day out of the practice, out of the bye. He didn't practice. I mean, again, that doesn't mean he's not going to play, but it's not a good start, I would say. So, would you say 6 right now?
Yeah, seeing 6.5. There's some sevens. Pinnacle 7 -100. Bookmaker 7 -110. Circus 6.5 -120.
I mean, I think this is almost a full Lamar line. Maybe
I
I'm
think it's a
crazy.
full Lamar line.
Like,
No, it is.
so
Yeah.
if say Lamar's 100% in, like, I think 7.5, would be. I can't imagine. I mean, even then, I think you'd probably get some buyback on the Bears. So, like, I don't mind taking some speculative sevens if, like, maybe Lamar isn't 100%. We've talked about it before too. Like, his
Yeah,
legs
hammies.
are the most crucial aspect of his game.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. I mean, and then the Ravens defense is still, a problem. So I don't know. That's interesting. I think there's some, like, yeah, there's a couple of sevens that's kind of lingering out there, like stale. Like, I mean, Bet Rivers is a 7. I definitely want the 7. And, like, if you get no Lamar, I mean, this is probably a pick at worst, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, like, we got to find out about Roquan Smith. Nande Mbuke is not coming back. That's an impactful interior defensive line presence for them that plays, 75% of the snaps, is a real pass rush threat from the interior, and is a massive human being clogging up offensive linemen from a run stuffing standpoint. He's gone for the year. He's not coming back. So that's a problem. We're still dealing with questions along, the secondary, at corner. Would want to know about Roquan, like I said. So yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think this is a full Lamar line. I do think you do see a Ravens bump when we get positive Lamar news. And I agree with what you said, that you get some buybacks. So I think we maybe would see 7s painted. You would move up to 7.5. And I think you'd probably get some teetering there where people would buy in on the half point. So it's an interesting one for sure, considering what's going on. And, a lot of news still to be had there for sure.
Yeah.
Should be a good game. All right. Cleveland Browns 31, Miami Dolphins 6. Look, it is, as we record here currently, 2:26 Central Time on Monday. We do not have any Mike McDaniels fired news, which I feel like it would have happened. Like, it feels weird to do it late Monday afternoon,
Right.
or like in the middle of the week. And at this point, I really wonder what it would take for him to lose the job in season. Because getting absolutely curb stomped by another awful football team didn't get it done. So 1 win, 2 bad, 3 more picks. I didn't hear him blame anyone else for any of these this time. He might have. I just didn't hear it. So I don't want to speak out of turn. Just didn't hear it. But not great. 1 for a touchdown. He just had nothing, and looked like they kind of gave up in the second half. There just wasn't any, no dogs at all on this club. So Browns did what we expected. The weather kind of was a little bit overstated as we thought it would be, but kudos to you. You parlayed some of the big time unders and a nice little ticket there for sure. So well done by you, playing on some of the longest unders on the longest and stuff like that. It was beautiful, beautiful ticket. So any Browns Dolphins thoughts here for you?
I don't think there's a ton to take away. It was like the game played out exactly as expected, at least from my
It
opinion.
really
Like,
did.
I don't know. Like, it was very strange because usually you get these, like, faux weather games of just like, oh, it's going to be a crazy storm. And, like, it was, I mean, definitely some rain and, like, some wind, but it wasn't like you're watching and you're like, oh, these guys can't even move. Like, this is like crazy. But they didn't matter. Cleveland's defense, played well enough and it impacted them enough that, like, Tua couldn't move the ball. The Browns, I mean, it was just handed to Judkins and Hope, and the defense set him up in a good enough spot, like, a couple times, that they didn't have to do much. I mean, 25 carries for 84 yards for Judkins is not like and he had a 46-yard run. So,
Right, so you say a lot of it tied up on one big run. Yeah.
yeah, which he, like, bounced off, a couple guys and was, like, pinballed his way there. And it's so crazy to me that, like, still he, like, didn't practice at all, just comes in, was it week 2, I think, like week 2, and was just like the instant workhorse, instant bell cow. They were like, yeah, we don't care about Dylan Sampson or Jerome Ford anymore. We're just guy. And to be fair, he's playing really well. I mean, I think he's pretty good. So,
Yeah, it's working.
yeah, I don't think there's much to take away. Honestly, defense is great from Cleveland. It's everything we knew. Dylan Gabriel continues to be Dylan Gabriel. I don't know. I don't think we know much about him after playing the Dolphins in this weather. Right.
Yeah, he's probably not good, but I don't know. In these type of scenarios, like it felt like such a great spot for the Browns. Actually worried too that just the weather would like mess it up a little bit, or just felt like on paper a great spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dominated the front. They, the Dolphins offensive line and no shot. Yeah, rough. Miami on the road in Atlanta for week 8, 7.5 and 8 out there. Totals around 44.5, 45. And Cleveland on the road against the AFC East leading New England Patriots. So any Dolphins Falcons thoughts? 7.5, 8.
That's a lot of points. I mean, I don't like the Dolphins. The Falcons defense played so well. We can get there in a second too, but like that's like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's probably right. I'm just not sure. I'm excited to lay that.
not excited to lay it either. But there's also no shot that I'm taking the Dolphins. Like we're just it's a sinking ship. Like it's you're clutching that on Sunday, and you're like, as soon as the game starts, you're like, why the hell is this in my allotment for the week? This is a bad spot to be in.
Yeah, it's like I mean, it's almost like the Eagles and still like the last couple of weeks prior to this week was just like the vibes are bad. Like you're attaching yourself to a team that like has catastrophic downside on a week-to-week basis of like they just give up. Like that's like fully within the range of outcomes basically every week where they're like, yeah, I don't really want to be here anymore.
Yeah, Tua was actually benched in this game.
Yeah.
So we'll see, again, not an injury, not a, I guess part of it is like, let's make sure he doesn't get hurt in this game. Quinn Ewers came in, but I don't know, the Mike McDaniel presser after talking about continue to cause us to lose. We have to evaluate. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what to make of that, but Falcons are nothing for me. So not great. I don't have a lot of takeaways to this next one either. 31 zip Chiefs Raiders. And again, it's 31-0 in an NFL game. And it wasn't even that close. And then it was just a wild thing to say. They absolutely dominated this football game in a way that I don't think we just really see games get dominated. Teams it just doesn't happen like this. There's a little pushback. Not that the game becomes like contested, but it's at the same time, like at some point you show a little bit of a fight. This reminded me of 2007 Patriots, where sometimes they just would steal the will from the other team and like just absolutely destroy you. 42 first half plays for the Chiefs, 21 first downs. They had 21 first downs in the first half. The Raiders ran 30 plays in the game. Dominant performance. Rashee Rice is back. I was directionally correct. Rashee Rice is going to be heavily involved. 10 targets, 7 catches, 2 touchdowns. Didn't get there on yards for me. So any takeaways from a dysfunctional Raiders team and a buzzsaw Chiefs team?
I mean, no, they ran 30 total plays. It's the fewest amount of plays since 2002 in a single game for a team.
Look, I spend time projecting plays every week. I spend a lot of time with it. It's an important piece of what I do. I can't really ever get past like, I think 54 is like the lowest I've ever put in a projection. And even that, like sometimes I'll like regress to the mean, which is, closer to 60. So like it's really, 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 really tough to do. 30 is insane to me. Like it's just so insane.
Crazy. I mean, just outrageous. Like if I see a game that has like the plays in the 40s for a team, I'm like, oh, that's what we lost the over on that guy. Like there's no way you're going to win if, you have 40 plays. If you have 30 plays, like we had Ashton Genty under, I mean, he wasn't going to get there even with probably 10, 12 carries. He just had no chance. I mean, you run 30 plays and you're just completely cooked. So I think Geno was benched too. So that's, he's been playing really bad. I don't know if we're ready to have the Geno conversation because he's been pretty good for a while. He hasn't been playing well. The Raiders taking Genty over another tackle at 6th overall not only cost me money in the draft, but also is costing them on the field. A lot of good options out there, and they blew it. So,
Yeah, it's rough, and they gave Gino the bag. And I'm not like a long-term, deal necessarily, but real money for a couple of years. So real tough scenario for them to be in. They are also on a bye. Chiefs Monday night hosting the Commanders. I mean, I'll be honest, probably my favorite bet on the board right now. This is not going to be. I mean, Jane Daniels not playing in that football game. He's got a hamstring injury. Like no one's again another running quarterback with a hamstring injury left the game. It's Marcus Mariota line to me. I just don't know how you can line it at 9.5. FanDuel 9.5, 10.5 in some spots, 10s in some spots. It's a huge number to lay in the NFL. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's funny because literally right as you said that, we get an underdog update here. Jaden Daniels hamstring injury not considered significant or long-term, and I don't believe him. They said this about his knee, kept him out of multiple games. Like,
that could also be the case, but also he misses this week.
Right. Yeah, totally. I mean, he had an MRI on his hamstring. It says it's not significant long-term, but not sure of his status for Monday night. That came from Nikki, starts with a J. I'm talking about, like, I don't know how to pronounce their last name, but good beat writer, like reputable person. So
yeah. I mean, look, see, I guess he has the benefit of having that be Monday night. Either way, and it was weird because it's not like, a hamstring injury typically is just like while you're running, something happens and you get like, a little bit of a strain. This is like a contact injury that like jacked his hamstring, which is, I thought, kind of interesting. So, if he goes, then it's probably even better, to be honest. I mean, with how beat up that team is right now, like he's going to be a pocket passer. I don't know. I like the Chiefs. I'm comfortable laying the Chiefs and feeling like I jumped too early and he plays. I don't feel bad about that. The Chiefs are a good spot.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a buzzsaw. I mean, they're your Super Bowl favorite, and I think for a reason.
Their offense just feels like back for the first. Like, this feels like one of the most explosive offenses. I think you put it in our private chat or whatever, our Slack chat about it, saying like, it might be time to start blindly betting Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns again because they're passing so much. Kareem Hunt went down with an injury that didn't look all that good. I don't know what the status of him was coming out of that. I mean, he's basically dust anyways. But when you remove one of those guys from the equation, it's like it's awesome because they can't just jam him 15 times and like move the chains. They might have to do more short throws. So you get Rashee Rice with 10 plus targets already, and in less than 3 quarters of play, basically. So because they yanked Mahomes, like I got the notification that they pulled him, and I'm like, it's got to be like the third quarter. There's still like 3 minutes left in the third quarter. I was like, what on earth?
Yeah. Smart. Get him out. Who cares? And to your point, we touched on it earlier. Commanders still, I would say, very much a pass funnel, right? The run defense is solid, but you can pick them apart. We saw the Cowboys do it. And, yeah. Look, we don't love Hollywood Brown, but Hollywood Brown is your wide receiver 3, right? Like, with Juju still like playing, I don't know, 10 snaps a game randomly. Like it's okay. Tyquan Thornton, they took a couple deep shots. Like all of a sudden it's not Hollywood Brown's your 1. It's Juju and Thornton. It's like those guys all move because Worthy's back, Rashee Rice is back. There's so much yak to be had there. I think we've still seen some decent stuff from Travis Kelce. So if Travis Kelce doesn't have to be your wide receiver 1, he literally could be your 4th pass catcher. Now we're talking about a totally different scenario. The math is really tough for
this team's going to be a juggernaut. I mean, this is crazy. It's like, I mean, they already are, but like, it's just a tough team to fade down the line, I think.
Yeah. You see what happens with their offensive line. Some stuff going on with Josh Simmons. Jawan Taylor got dinged up. Smith did too, but I think he'll be okay. So yeah, we need to make sure they're going to be okay. But yeah, they're a buzzsaw. Your defending Super Bowl champs went on the road and won in Minnesota 28-22 for Philadelphia. We saw a little bit more of an aggressive shot taking offense here from Philly. Deep AJ Brown touchdown, Devonta Smith touchdown. Felt so bad. A subscriber in Discord DM'd me early on Sunday morning, like start sit decision. He's like, hey, I'm starting 3 or I got 2 Eagles in the lineup. I forget who we already had. He's like, I'm back and forth between Devontae Smith and Wan'Dale Robinson. And I'm like, well, I grabbed a screenshot from our rankings. We had them right next to each other. We had Smith 1 ahead.
Right.
we had Wandale right next to each other, almost the same exact projection for everything. And I'm like, I mean, I prefer Devontae. Looking at this, we're pretty close. I get why you'd want to break the tie. I
Right.
guess, you can hit the ceiling and be good, or, obviously the floor is much worse. And I don't think Wandale played poorly. I think Wandale actually had a pretty good game, but he did not have Devonta Smith's game. And I don't know, still not getting anything from Saquon. The offensive line still not looking great, but they looked a little bit better against Carson Wentz and their old quarterback.
Yeah, it was one of those lines where you have a lot of weird Eagles stuff baked into it, and then you also have, but then on the other side, you're like Carson Wentz. Like we've seen very little good from Carson Wentz so far, and the Eagles are still a talented team. They still have plenty of good players. It's just one of those like weird mojo things, right? Like you don't want to bet against it. You don't want to bet on the team with bad mojo, which has been like the Eagles for a couple of weeks of like indescribable play and like what's going on. But then, they hit their upside and Jalen Hurts goes for 330 and rips the Vikings defense. It's pretty good. That was just sending blitzes. And he just was like, all right, well, I'm just going to air it out. That's the, just try and beat the kind of like cover zeros and cover ones that they're sending with like the blitzes on just like basically deep outside shots. And it worked out. When you have AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, you can do that. You have the luxury to do that. If you have, some bums on the outside, it's not going to work. And the Vikings will pick you apart. And yeah, I mean, Carson Wentz continues to be Carson Wentz. So
this is like the all-time, maybe not the all-time, but it's definitely a scenario where like box score watching the game, you look at the box score, you're like, oh, Carson Wentz was fine. Like 313 yards.
Yeah.
He got his 2 guys involved. If you watch that football game,
he was bad.
There was some insane Carson Wentz plays where you're like, holy cow. I mean, there's an interception, but even just like really bad passes to open receivers. Like early in the game, I'm still sweating. And again, like I had Jordan Addison, he cruised over his line.
Yeah, he got
early in the game. I'm like, can we please hit him? He's wide open. Like, what was that throw? It was so bad. But he got there. And again, part of that also, I think moving forward, a struggle for the Eagles. That second corner situation is a problem. Dory Jackson continues to get picked on. He left this game and got hurt, like jammed his neck on the tackle with Zach Bond. And they brought in Kelee Ringo and instantly 3 straight plays, chunk gains at Kelee Ringo, who, again, if you cannot beat out Dory Jackson, that tells us all we need to know about Kelee Ringo. And then, very much not surprising, Kevin O'Connell was like, yep, where is he? Okay, that's where we're going with this football. And, we'll see what the Giants can do. Against our week 8 matchup is that rematch, Giants on the road in Philly. 6.5 out there is juicy on, looks like just ESPN. 43 and a half. We'll get to the Giants game for sure here. But any quick takeaways on Giants Eagles?
I mean,
takeaways,
I feel like the sharp move is to probably take the Eagles here, but I don't know if I want to.
No,
I mean,
stay away from me. There's too much stuff going on there.
This like 2 teams generally moving in opposite directions right now. I guess, the Giants did lose the close one. Maybe that kind of shifts things, but they were just riding higher than high for, I don't even know what, now we're talking at 11 quarters basically on, what's going on. So
started with that Eagles game. So we'll see. This is, again, second time in the division. We don't typically get the quick turnaround like this. So this is, pretty interesting from a handicapping standpoint, because you're not necessarily, I guess, out of wherever you were. Again, NFL's, your current state is just week by week. So the Eagles obviously have a little bit more momentum after that last game than they did heading into it. All right. We said it was the right side. Didn't feel good. But Carolina 13, the Jets 6. Bryce Young, Connor. Nice win on Bryce Young. Hey, it's a win, buddy. That right? You took the under on attempts.
The win on the attempts. I thought you meant like him winning the game, and I was like,
I mean your bet.
Yeah, we got lucky there kind of towards the end because he got yanked because of the ankle injury, which was crazy because it was actually, we were going to lose the unders. We had under 29.5 attempts. We were definitely going to lose because Dalton comes in at 7 attempts. So, the math there does not check out. But the reason is that the Jets just couldn't stay on the field. Like they just like couldn't run plays. So like the Panthers just had the ball for forever early in the game. Panthers ran 70 plays, which is crazy. It's like, it was pretty nuts. But yeah, the Jets were basically just dead. I mean, this team sucks. They benched Justin Fields. I don't know if they're going to roll with Tyrod this week. I think that maybe I'm crazy. I think if we get any Garrett Wilson stuff ever back, if we get more of these like Jets lines at like discounts, I think they're values. Like I think Tyrod can move the ball better than Justin Fields can, at least on a play-by-play basis. Comes in, does for 126 yards in like a half. Justin Fields had 6 for 12 for 46. What is it, 3 weeks ago when he came in for a quarter, threw for like 100 yards in a quarter against the Bills defense where Justin Fields had 27 yards in 3 quarters. I don't think Tyrod Taylor's good, but he can get it done like enough. You know, they're still going to be terrible, but like prop wise, I think there's an interesting buying point here coming up.
At least willing to take the shots, right? Like that's a big piece of it. Like just be willing to take the shots. Like no one else is willing to take the shots. I mean, or at least Fields seems terrified to let it loose. So yeah, not a great win. Like you said, a win's a win. So the Panthers won. They have momentum. They're 4-3.
That's crazy. That's like the Bears 4-2. Like, I mean, this is worse. This is for sure worse, I think. This Panthers team is major fraudulent at 4-3.
Yeah. And look, they took advantage of, good win against Dallas. Miami win, I think is definitely a soft one there. Almost had that win in Arizona. So like they have a real shot. They could have been 5-2 at the end of that comeback. Yeah, it's not a lot of takeaways. It will be interesting to see what happens there at quarterback moving forward. Let's see. We have Jets are on the road against the Bengals. They are 6.5-point dogs, 44.5. Again, interested to see what your thoughts are on, is that a Tyrod line, or are we be throwing down some money at 6.5 on Flacco?
This is crazy. The Bengals with Joe Flacco, 7-point favorites. Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, I'm like, hey, Connor, should we bet on Joe Flacco?
We good?
You didn't want to say anything. Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah. No, I'm not betting on Joe Flacco. It's a 7-point favorite against the Jets. I mean, this is crazy. It's not crazy because the Jets are so bad, but like, this is wild to me. I don't know. I get it. Is it a Tyrod line? Is it a Fields line? I don't know if there's like what would they even make the point spread difference on them? Like,
yeah, that's what I was asking when it was freezing there. Do you think this is a Tyrod line or is this a Fields line? I'm curious. What do you think the adjustment would
like a half point, maybe 1 point difference either way between the two, depending on how they have them. I mean, Fields has been so bad that I don't think it matters. 7-point favorites at 6.5 in some spots. Like the problem is the Jets like secondary pieces outside of Sauce have been just really, really bad. So like it's like
he did get dinged up too. I don't know how severe his injury is, but I know he at least left for part of that game. So
yeah. I don't know. Maybe the Bengals are the right side. The more that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's too much recency bias of watching them, keep up with a somewhat real team in the Steelers. But if you remember, Justin Fields did something pretty similar in week 1 against them.
Yeah, I think 6.5 is interesting. But yeah, I'm not dying to lay on Flacco, but it's a trash game.
What about Bills all against the Panthers?
Yeah, it's probably smart. In Carolina, Bills are 7.5-point favorites coming off of the bye. What's interesting is Carolina's run D really has been solid, and I still just have questions about the passing game in Buffalo. It's Josh Allen; he'll figure it out. Maybe it's just they need to get healthy with Kincaid, and not having Kincaid, I think probably mattered. Like they've been using him in a very different way, and I think they really missed him in that Atlanta game. But yeah, that would be interesting for sure. With 12.5, 13.5, taking some big numbers on the Bills.
Yeah, I think you're getting a little bit of a discount here betting against the Panthers here. This is like, yeah, they're really bad. I think I guess Bryson's misses. Like I think it's an upgrade for the Panthers.
Yeah, Dalton.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, that could be better. That's a good point.
Maybe the real play is just the over here, 45.5, 46. Like Dalton can, I mean, the Bills can probably drop, 27 plus themselves, I think, just through Josh Allen willing them there. And you can definitely get some pushback or turnovers from Andy Dalton. Either way is great.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting for sure. Yeah, look, it just came out today. It was like Bryce Young, I think, had a high ankle sprain, likely to miss week 8. So maybe this is already a Dalton line. So I think the over here is an
Okay.
interesting look.
I don't hate that. I like the alts there too. I want to give a little bit of a possible future or award look, a little sprinkle. Defensive Rookie of the Year is fascinating to me. It doesn't really feel like there's a lot of guys that actually could win the award. Abdul Carter is your deserved favorite. He's awesome. Not putting up a ton of counting stats. Jahad Campbell is also right there. He actually, well, it looks like Campbell moved ahead of him. Campbell is kind of in a role shift. He's moving from like a traditional off-ball linebacker role with Nakobe Dean coming back. They play him on the edge a lot more. So maybe that's better for him and he can put up some more counting stats, but I don't know. I don't think he deserves to be where he is on the board. I'm still cheering for my Schlesinger bags, which are, I think, in pretty good standing. But Nick Scorton, edge rusher for Carolina, is starting to play really, really good ball, and they're playing him a lot more. He had another sack and a half, 6 pressures. He's got a few sacks in the last few games. I've seen 100-1 on FanDuel. He's not even on our odds screen.
Yeah, I'm scrolling.
I have to go to fan, so I don't even know if 100 is the best. Can't find him. Same thing. So I was, as you were talking, I brought it up, and I think that's probably why I had to freeze, because I brought up multiple books to kind of start to shop it around. But I saw 100 on FanDuel, and I don't think it's a bad sprinkle. If you believe that there's something here with the Panthers, they have a back end shot of being a playoff team, and he starts putting up some counting stats. There is just a bunch of guys listed ahead of him that just have no business being listed ahead of him. They're just there because maybe where they were preseason. But Scorton was an interesting prospect. Went early second. A lot of people thought he was going to go early or late first. Now we're starting to put it together, and that team is desperate for pass rush, and he's getting it done. So interesting sprinkle if you like to get in the awards market at 100.
I like that. That's fun. 100-1. Yeah. It's like when I have to keep scrolling, it's like makes me more and more as excited as I don't see the person when I'm scrolling. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be even longer and longer and longer. It's great.
You have to shop that. I don't know that that's the best, but I know FanDuel will always have it posted at least. Caesars is rarely the best on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't hate it. All right. Next we have again, AFC East leading New England Patriots 31-13 against the Titans. They get a win for Vrabel. Drake May lets 2 balls hit the ground. Connor, 21-23. Absolutely cooking right now. Ramondre looks like the real deal. Travion down so bad. It's not even worth talking about Travion anymore. Ramondre cooking.
Terrell Jennings, right? Is that his name?
Yeah, well, whatever, anything. I don't care. We want to win football games, okay? We want to win football games. So more Kayshon Boutte goodness, more Stephon Diggs goodness, balanced attack, defense played well. I don't know. They get the Browns, and the Titans are terrible. Back-to-back weeks where on untouched, attempting to throw the football, just Cam Ward drops the ball. This time resulted in a scoop and score for the Patriots. K'Von Chase on. I don't know. Titans are awful. Pats are rolling. Any thoughts?
No, I'm sure you were hyped early on. I thought the Titans were going to compete in the first quarter. It would look like they were.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons was a beast, and Jeffrey Simmons went out. Now is it? And they had no shot.
Yeah, they're pretty much dead at that point. So that was tough. Cam Ward had a great opening drive. They got the kind of dead cat bounce, from the coach firing, and that just fell off within 10 minutes or so. Pats came back, took care of business. So they're playing well, and they're going to play a bunch of bad teams. So that's all you need. So to keep rattling off wins. Drake May continues to play better and better. Stephon Diggs continues to not really. He's playing well, but he's not playing a ton. He's somewhere in the 60 to 70% range snap wise, which is, fine as long as they're winning. That's all that matters. Kayshon Boutte's playing better. Pop Douglas is, there. He's playing fine. It's and the Henderson stuff is just from a fantasy football perspective, and everyone who's there is so mad about it. But the reality is they're just going to play the best players that they think are the best. And it's not like he's some world beater who's been crushing it and like super efficient on every touch. And it's like, why aren't you playing this guy more? He's like, he's been fine. He's been like, he said what, like 2 good plays all season? You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah. If
like he had like a long reception maybe or 2. I think that's pretty much it. He hasn't had any like crazy like long touchdown runs. I don't think if I can remember.
no,
Right.
preseason.
So like, I get it that like, yeah, he was drafted high in the draft. He was supposed to be really good. Ramondre Stevenson fumbles a bunch, but I don't think this guy can pass protect, and the coaches seem to like him, and they're winning. So I don't think anything's going to change anytime soon. And you saw the clip of Vrabel after the game saying like, we got our new 5-minute back or whatever, and which I don't really know what that means. Just like, but
whatever
who
he
is this
says,
guy?
I'm good.
Florida A&M. Do you know anything about this guy?
Don't know anything about this guy.
I'm like looking him up. Florida A&M Rattlers, undrafted free agent last year. Ran a 40 and 4.66 at 5'11", 217. Like, this is the most average human being of all time for NFL standards.
For NFL standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's 99th percentile of all human beings.
Right.
But
Right.
NFL standards, maybe 30th percentile.
Yeah. Hey, win football games. That's it. I'm gonna keep seeing that. I think here too. They host Cleveland. We're seeing a little bit of movement. 7.5 on Pinnacle, juiced 7.5. There's still a 6.5 on DraftKings. Mostly 7s out there too. I think it's just gonna be more Dre May. Cleveland's gonna be stout against the run. They'll probably pressure him. It's probably a fair line, to be honest. Like, the Browns are feisty enough. Like, they have their defensive unit is good. They're going to keep themselves in games. But then you're also telling me about a Patriots defense that is also really legit. It's also a really strong run defense too. So it becomes more of a question of like, how do the Browns move the football? Whereas, yeah, the Patriots might not buzz up and down the field because the Browns defense is legit. But then you also have to answer the question at the same time is, what does Dylan Gabriel do against this defense? And I don't know that there's an answer to that.
Yeah, I've been like blindly betting like running backs against Patriots, like unders, not blindly, but like generally. I don't know if I'm able to get there with Judkins just because he gets like 20 something carries. So like,
right.
I don't know if that's a good bet. It would have to be probably like 100 or like 90, which we're not going to get against a tough Patriots team. Probably like 70s or something like that. But I don't know. They've been playing really well, and then if that happens, like, yeah, you're forcing Dylan and Gabriel into 3rd and 7s. That's really tough.
Really tough. Yeah. Uncorrelated. You can't get the ceiling on it, but you can go over carries, under yards. Might be a Junkins look next week.
Yeah, I like that.
Speaking of fun, 33-32 Denver against the Giants. And you probably have seen or heard some of the historical takeaways of how unprecedented the comeback was here. Multiple comebacks, right? It was the Giants up and Broncos come back, and the Giants come back, and then the Broncos come back again. Just a lot of drama within that. Some clutch play from both quarterbacks, although it wasn't always the case, especially from Bo Nix's side. You would say that the Giants did benefit from a pretty suspect pass interference call there in the end. But hey, it is what it is. Not the first team to benefit from a bad coaching or a bad ref call there at the end that put the game up for grabs. But the Giants fans, I think, are still pretty happy. I mean, I don't think about losing the game, but like, I think they feel like they got something, and that's just half of it, right? It's just feeling like there's just something here. We feel like we might have a guy. He's got a pulse. He seems to give a rip, and he's got a little swag. I know the kids are like in Jackson Dart. So my son does not watch a ton of ball, like loosely knows, and is like sits down. He's like informed about Jackson Dart. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, he was a lot of fun at Ole Miss. I'm like, you never watched the second of Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. And it's just TikTok, man. Just TikTok, swag, chains. Yeah, here we are. The kids are excited about Jackson Dart. So are the Giants fans, but they lost. Any takeaways?
Yeah, it's I mean, this game was crazy. 1, 2. It looked like the Broncos scored 8 points through 3 quarters, something like that. We're just like completely dead in the water. Couldn't move the ball. And then we get the pick, which was really bad. Like, that was like came after they scored. They were still 2 scores down. They scored, got a pick, scored a quick touchdown then after. And then, like, again, got a stop, then another touchdown. Like it was like one of those things. The momentum just kept rolling, and then they gave up. Yeah, like the Giants scored again. So it was one of the craziest games ever. It was the DT Ring of Honor game. You can see behind me for anyone watching a video. Got the Demaryius Thomas jersey. So we got ducked into the Ring of Honor that game, which is pretty crazy. I mean, it was just an insane game. Takeaway though for the Broncos, like I don't know if I've seen a team play down or up to their competition more than the Broncos so far this year. They just are, whoever comes in, they want to make it a close game because for whatever reason, and I don't really know why and what's going on there, but they seem to just find a way to do it. Basically, I mean, yeah, every week their 2 losses are by 3 points to the Chargers, 1 point to the Colts on a game-winning field goal against Colts where they probably should have won. Killed the Bengals, but then, again, made it Eagles, close game. Jets, super close game. Giants, super close game. Even the Titans, like, gave them a little bit of problems early on, and, like, they only won by 8.
For sure. They didn't cover that game. They didn't cover, yeah.
So, I don't know. Interesting team.
They host the Cowboys, 3 points, basically. Although, that's just ESPN. So basically 3. Totals between 40.5, 49.5. And again, like they gave up a ton of points to a depleted Giants team. So this current Dallas passing offense, I get why there's optimism in points. I believe Hunter, our guy too, played the over in that game yesterday before it was before Sunday Night Football ended. So I get it. I don't know what to make of Denver, like you said, Jekyll and Hyde, but there's definitely some upside there. It's going to be a fascinating game. We have 3 games in the late window on Sunday. Tampa, New Orleans, not super exciting. Tennessee and Indy, less exciting. So hopefully the Cowboys and Broncos give us a fun football game. All right, we have the Colts winning on the road, 38-24. Big win for the Colts, I feel like. I mean, obviously this is not the Chargers team that we saw early in the year. Lots of injuries, but there's so much balance to this Indy team. We've touched on it, I think. Like, they're just really complimentary with like their offensive weapons that they have. Alec Pierce is, I think, playing like better football, and now they have like a whole nother weapon by being able to unleash him deep. Tyler Warren's a baller. Defense, they continue to find ways to get it done without Charvarius Ward, who they put on IR. So I'm really worried about them moving forward. Didn't matter here, although I guess cumulatively Herbert put up a ton of yardage. Probably doesn't matter next week either against the Titans. They're 14-point favorites here at home. But any takeaways from Colts and Chargers?
Colts are legit. I don't even know how this we got here or what's going on, but this is incredible stuff. Yeah, like they're good. Chargers, I mean, it should have been a game. There was like a end zone pick from Herbert that kind of caused some problems. There had to be some drives where he threw for like 130 yards on that drive alone because they kept throwing it and then getting penalties and then converting and then another penalty. I was like, this is the longest 60-yard drive of all time. And so it was fine for props. I mean, we had like 23.5 completions. It was great. Again, should have like ulted completions if we knew we were going to get this run out here. But I don't know. It's one of those things where I think the Chargers they're just in a tough spot without their 2 tackles and, not able to establish a massive running game here. And when you fall behind early and the Colts are just continue to play great football offensively and reasonable defensively, like that's what I would say. They're not good, but they played pretty well, at least in this game.
Colts did not have a fantastic pass rush. They pressured Herbert on 57.4% of his dropbacks in this game. And then that's astronomical to approach 50%. They top 50%. Now they play on Thursday night against the Vikings, who can definitely creatively generate pressure, then just beat you with some of their guys too. So really tough spot there for the Chargers on Thursday night, kind of like Minnesota there. They're 2.5, 3. I think Minnesota is kind of a lean. I just think they're going to be able to live in the backfield again, getting to Herbert. Joel maybe comes back, but I don't know. Maybe it's a tough, quick turnaround there. So Minnesota's going to be in the backfield all day.
That's going to be a tough matchup. That's a real tough matchup for the Chargers. You can't hold on the ball there for longer than 2 seconds. Like it's just going to have to be in and out if you do throw it, basically, because he's going to get crushed otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that was what was going on in the game, and I pulled up NFL Pro this morning. I was just sorting by pressures for the week to see who did what, and like there were 6 of the top 15 guys were Colts. Like that's like holy cow, they had a day. So all right, Packers Cardinals we touched on a little bit earlier, 27-23. Again, it's a win. Micah Parsons showed up and looked good. Did his thing for the first time, getting a ton of pressure, 3 sacks. I think he had 10 pressures as well. He had a day. Jacoby Brissett continues to show a pulse, which we cannot really say for much of Kyler Murray-led offenses. Any takeaways here from Packers Cardinals?
We touched on a little bit earlier at the top. I mean, Packers just not quite as dominant as I would have liked based on what we saw early in the season. We thought they could have been truly like next level, kind of taking that step. As you mentioned, Jordan Love experience, makes some insane throws, misses some others. Their running game wasn't that good today with Josh Jacobs kind of a little bit banged up. He only finished with 55 yards on 13 carries. And like Emmanuel Wilson couldn't get anything going. I mean, 2.8 yards per carry is terrible. So I mean, that was the key. And like Jacoby Brissett played well enough to keep him kind of hanging around and winning most of the game. So, shout out to you for saying Jacoby's all right. And could at least move the ball, which is all you need him to do. And so I thought this was an interesting game that, I mean, the Packers squeaked out here, but again, it kind of left me unimpressed.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, you got to get those wins. They did. They're all going to be sexy, but at least they took advantage and did get the W. So, all right, Dallas absolutely whoops the Commanders. We touched on this a little bit with the Commanders news and Jane Daniels. But again, I was surprised that CeeDee Lamb came back from a high ankle sprain and like did not miss a beat. And now, I mean, they're fully healthy offensively. Dak is cooking. They took advantage of their former coach, Dan Quinn. And, part of it is obviously not just going down this game, but like Noah Brown, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin all out as well. So we're definitely looking at the B team for the Commanders, and that's kind of how it looked.
It showed. Yeah. I mean, it very clearly showed. I mean, when you're running out Chris Moore and, Jalen Lane and stuff like that, it's just not going to be consistent. And then, you got Jaden kind of, I mean, a little bit banged up and then injured. Marcus Mariota to end the game here. But I mean, they were losing well before. Like the game was kind of over when he got injured. At least that's what I thought.
It was.
So
it was 3 scores at the time.
This Cowboys team's interesting. Like they seem like at full strength offensively, a team that can offensively keep up with basically anyone. And they just need their defense to do anything to have like, a chance to win. The problem is I'm not sure their defense can be able to do anything most of the time.
Just a great over team. They're playing good football teams. They're just, those games are going to be fun to watch, and maybe Denver can do that and take advantage here. There this week, we get a Chiefs game for Thanksgiving. That's gonna be fun.
Wow.
Should be a lot of points in that one. At least entertaining, right? On Thanksgiving, like we get some stinkers. Like, give me some Cowboys Chiefs. That'll be exciting. So
that'll be
over.
Sick.
Yeah, overs are nothing for them. That's all I got. Sunday night, San Francisco 20-10 against Atlanta. San Francisco again just continues to find ways to win. They're 5-2. They took advantage of Divine Diablo getting hurt here and then just pounded Christian McCaffrey. 23 carries, 114 yards, another 7 balls for 72 yards. Again, we know it's Final Destination vibes for Christian McCaffrey, but he survives another episode, continues on, and looked pretty darn good.
Yeah, this is, I mean, by far his best running day on the ground. He looks better. I mean, more and more explosive, I think, almost every week. But, like, it just hasn't been super efficient overall. I mean, this is a good run defense coming into the week, too. The Falcons were, like, a top 3 to 5 run defense, depending on what metric you're looking at. Pass even still played, I would say, relatively well against Mac Jones, who had his, least efficient day out of, all the other games he's played. And he's played against some fairly good defenses here. So even with, Kendrick Bourne and Jennings being his top receivers, along with CMC, obviously, Kittle came back and just did nothing. Was out there just blocking, basically. And he was running some routes, but just wasn't needed here. So nothing too crazy here. Again, I think the Niners are probably just going to keep being a team that can, beat basically every game that they play because they play a bunch of shit teams. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if they're good because they're just so beat up. Like I think they have like basically no upside. Like I would be super shocked if they won multiple games in the playoffs, to be honest. Like,
totally agree.
They could win a game in the playoffs, maybe, if they play a bad NFC team, get lucky. And then I mean, I don't think they're gonna be like Lions, Packers, Eagles, even
Probably struggle against even the Rams in their own
for sure.
division if they play
Yeah,
those. Yeah, it's tough, and they'll probably get there because the schedule is so soft. So
right.
this Drake London on off split situation with Darnell Mooney is weird to me. Like,
Wild.
I get the Mooney is good. He's better than your other guys, your other like non Drake London pieces, but like you just pounded Drake London with 16 targets like from the slot. You've now continued. You've done it multiple times. For some reason, the entire dynamic of the offense switches when Darnell Mooney's out there instead of Casey Washington. I have no idea why that is, but we have a growing sample of that being kind of a unique situation. So I throw Drake London the ball. He's pretty darn good. I don't know. It's weird.
Crazy to me. Yeah, I don't get it at all, but it's been a thing for a while. I almost actually like wanted to play like a Drake London over, just like spite the splits. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna do it again. And they did it again. So
Yeah. I played 5.5 receptions. I'm like, this is an over adjustment. I don't understand. This guy gets caught,
yeah, 12
11 balls again. Like, come on, what are we doing? So
Yep.
I don't know. Best bet for Monday Night Football?
I think there's a fun one right now that I played a little bit of that was on Hard Rock. Jalen Knoll to have 4 catches is 8-1.
Okay.
And so that's a fun one. Other than that, I think Nick Chubb props are too high and Rashad White props are too high rushing yards.
Played CJ Stroud over 14.5 rushing yards. I think 15.5 is still out there. It's been running more. Seattle got 50% pressure rate last time out. They're going to eat up this Texans offensive line, and Stroud, might do it on one carry. I don't know. He did it one time for 30 yards against Baltimore, but that's the only game he hasn't run at least 4 times this year. So I like Stroud to get us at least 15, 16 yards. So appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Make sure you subscribe before you take off. Take advantage of SharpStack, guys. Free 7-day trial, a month for 50% off with MTL 50. Come back on Thursday for more of our props and stuff for the week. So for Connor, I'm Ryan. We'll see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.